Everybody, this is Sonia. I come on here now today to show you how I put, sorry about the rattle, I'm just going to wipe here. I'm going to show you how I put images onto fabric. Irene was on the YouTube last night. I think she put up a video on wanting to know how to do it. Now you can go and you can buy paper that's specially for, actually it's fabric that you put through your printer, and it's like got a paper back on it. But then you can also go and do this. Now mine I think come out pretty good. It's probably the material that I use, but I wanted it to have a pretty old look to it anyway, these things that I put on here. So I buy this paper and it's called freezer paper. Now you buy it by the metre or whatever. I got mine from my local store, which is rattling around here. She sells patchwork stuff and stuff like that, and they use this in applique a fair bit. So what I do with this is you have to be careful because you don't want to wreck your printer. Now mine come out okay. At the beginning there's a little bit of black along there, but that's probably picking up something that was on the printer anyway. But that's not interfering with anything there that I've done. I have got a mark there which I think I actually did with the pencil accidentally when I was doing that, but it's not affecting any of my pictures that I can print out. Well, what you need to do first is to get yourself a document. Okay, now hopefully people know how to do that. You pick up your pictures and then you put them onto a document and save it onto your computer. Okay, so then you get your piece of paper like so. Now I'm going to use a different sort of fabric to show you. First I need to turn on my iron. I need to turn my iron on. Now I was going to use some of this piece. Everything has so much fluff on it round here. If it's not fluff, it's I don't know, is it fluffy? I suppose when you have wool and everything else. Now, you need your piece of material to be the size of your A4 sheet of paper, right? Now, I've got it cut to not quite, like, not exactly yet, because what I want to do is, there's my piece of fabric. Now I'll just lay it there and I will cut it to the exact size of your piece of paper. Now I'm doing this like this because I find this is what works for me. Other people might have different ways that they do it. It might be a lot easier than what I'm doing, I don't know. But I'm just going to trim this to the exact size of my piece of paper, my A4 sheet. Because I want it to be exactly. Now you can buy sheets of this fabric stuff for your printer. I've got none at the moment, only some that came in some Barbie doll clothes making kit thingy, yeah, that I bought a long time ago at a garage sale. But the material it's ironed onto, it's sort of like a synthetic thing. This one I've got here would be a polyester cotton that I'm using. It's very, very thin, very thin. That's what I aim for, because I don't want, as I say, I actually sent you some of this, Irene, this one, and this is a homespun or a calico, and that is a very thin one as well. That is what I've used today to print that off so I could show you. So now we're just going to cut this out here. I should have turned it over the other way so I could see what I'm doing, shouldn't I? Hope you can see what I'm doing. Well, anyway, you realise that I'm going to just try to cut around this piece of paper to make sure that it's the same size as my piece of paper. I suppose you can measure it, but I thought this was just pretty easy. You just use the piece of paper for the pattern. And you'll always know that that's what you've got to do, because you need to have that size. If you're making a document up, you're going to cover your whole sheet on it. Well, you'd want to, if you want to go through it, like, you know, if you want to put that through it and cover the whole thing, you might as well, because it's, you know, you get a fair few pictures. I mean, the one that you buy too, the fabric that you buy is really, I think it's really white, and it's, you know, I mean, it's $4 a sheet, but you're going to get all these, you know, all these little photos, so it's not too bad a price. You've got to get it first. I have it here at the shop here. I told Irene I'll be able to get her some if she wants me to buy that, but if she can try this, I might even send you some of that freezer paper. But anyway, so I buy this, and it only costs you about, I don't know, she gets it on these big rolls, and it only costs you about $1 a metre or something. So what I'm going to do is, I might use the leg of the tripod just to hold that down there, and hold it so it's not roll up. So I've kept it rolled up. Maybe if you was thinking about doing something like this, you could probably have it ready, not rolled up, you know. So now I've got a piece of material, and this has got a shiny side and it's got a dull side. Now it's got nothing to do with the freezer. It's just, that's the name of it. It's not nothing to do with cooking whatsoever. So we'll just cut along here, and then I've got my iron turned onto let me see, I'm not really smart with irons, don't like them that much. I've got it actually onto linen, which is really hot. First, a while ago, earlier, I did self-cleaning, whatever that means, but anyway, I gave it a, but I might just do that again. I just press the me button and make sure I'm not going to get anything nasty on this. Shouldn't do. I've got the bottom, it looks a bit scary, but I only use it for sewing. I don't actually do any ironing. About that, just impress me at all. We just have things you don't need to iron. So if we can line this up pretty good with the paper, what we've cut out, and now we're going to iron it, okay? But don't go over the, yes, and just keep going with the iron. Try not to put your iron onto your paper, because you'll only, paper's not expensive, like I said, and it's it works. This is the only way, well, it's the way that I like to see fluff everywhere. Now we're going to cut that out, like so. Like this. It's under the leg of the tripod, but anyway, you can imagine what I'm trying to do, can't you? I mean, if you can't see me, I'm trying to keep it flat. Because it's been rolled up, which is how I've kept it, it's going to keep coming up at the edges. So you're going to keep wanting to press that down until you're sure you've got that. Turn around over the other side and iron a bit more. Make sure every little corner is ironed right down. Make sure you do this, because if you don't, you will be buying another printer tomorrow. I would have been too if I didn't do it properly. Only for the fact that it'll get caught, but look, even if it does, you can get it out. I mean, I'm only saying, might be a bit exaggeration there. You're gonna, no, this is really hot, and got something in between there and there. Look at that, aren't I clever? It's a little, maybe, I don't know what it is, but anyway, we're not going to worry about that too much. But I am going to get this here. That square thing, because I want to make sure, now I've got a selvage, which is really probably not a bad idea, just depends whether your selvage is straight or not, But I'm going to make a very, you might think that I'm doing a lot of fiddling around here, but I wanted to make sure that this is going to go through properly. I'm going to pick, when I put my page through my printer, this is the side that's going to be coming out on the top, and that's the side that's going to have the design on it, okay? So I want this to be going to run through there absolutely perfect. It might be a little bit of fiddling around, but it's worth it in the long run, because you're going to make sure that you're going to get this exactly right. And you're going to be able to find a pencil here, surely. Up here they are. Really sharp pencil, because, and then you'll cut along your line to make sure that that's exactly, doesn't matter how many times you cut something out, I don't know, sometimes they just, then you'll put it back this way and take that off there like that, okay, which is pretty close to being right, except that just because the paper's there. Righto. Now, I don't know if you just want me to actually take this out and show you what happens when you put it through the printer. That could be a good idea, I suppose, but I'm sure you'll realise that that's what you do now. You go and you set it out in your printer, you get your document that you want to print off onto it, and you just print it out onto the piece of paper. Now I used to have a fair few documents in my computer, but I went and I cleaned it out because it was getting too full. So now at the moment I don't have any, and I don't really need any. So unless you really need me to show you how it works, which I'm sure that that's not going to be a problem, because once you have really ironed this and ironed it and ironed it, now the only way that you can, well, if you don't know which way this is going, which is going to be the top, because you don't want it to print onto there, okay, you want it to print onto this side. So we'll just do lots of ironing. Now you just check when you go to put it through the printer which side is going to be the, even if you put another piece of paper through there, if you can't think of what it does, but it just should go through there like that, and out will come your pictures. Now, what else was I going to say about this? Okay, can't remember, but, oh yes, righto. Now, once we've got those pictures, once we've got our pictures, we can just cut them out, okay? Now, I can't honestly remember whether this can be ironed on or not, but it doesn't matter, does it? Because you're going to glue it, I'd imagine. Irene, is that what you're going to do with it? You're going to glue it on? Because all you've got to do now is cut out your picture, put whatever medium you want to put on there. If you want to put your gesso, which I don't think I would, but you could put that on if you like, just depends what you've got. Then all you do is you get your paper off the back, okay, well you don't have to, I suppose you could keep it on there, but if you want it to actually be like a page, come off here in a minute if I get, we'll just pull that off there, and there is your image on your fabric. Pretty cluey, hey? Very clever, actually, I thought. I only come across that by accident because I was telling Vanessa that I needed something that was, and she said, oh, the freezer paper works. Right. So I've been doing that now for quite some time because I haven't been able to buy anything else. But there you go. That's what you do. That's how you get your, look at that, Irene. Isn't that clever? I think, Jeanette said there was one that you do with, adhesive, you spray adhesive onto it, but I don't know about that one. This is the only one that I know that you can use the freezer paper and you just put it through your print. You don't even have to change any settings on your printer. Well, I don't, or anything else. You just prints it out, okay? So there you are. That's how you do that. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody.